right, so here's the menu for the all-inclusive at Tap MGM. That's where we chose to go for our first lunch of the MGM all-inclusive. This is their beer selection on this side, just that half of the page. And then on the other side, you have the wine selection, which was the most generous of any of the all-inclusive restaurants for the MGM. And then here's a list of their cocktails. You can get bottom shelf well drinks as part of your all-inclusive. I actually went with a cab. My wife went with a well drink, Jack and Coke. My cab was fine. And the Jack and Coke was actually really good. It had a lot of alcohol in it. It really came through. My wife and I both enjoyed it. Now for our meals, she went with the crispy chicken with slaw sandwich, and I went with the California Club grill sandwich. My sandwich was great. You know, it had really nice veggies in it, pickled red onions, some arugula, I think, mayo aioli that was delicious. So nothing wrong there. And those French fries were awesome. I'm not sure what they seasoned it with, but they're really, really good. All right, now moving on to Diabla's Cantina. We went here for dinner on day one of our all-inclusive. That's the chips and salsa. We both went with a red wine and Pepsi No Ice. We have a bigger story about the Pepsi No Ice later, but just know that here you just get a white or a red wine or really light beers. My wife went with the Al Pastor tacos. Those were actually the better option. That green salsa there was delicious. I went with their shredded beef burrito. Mine was a total miss. Both the rice and beans on actually both of our dishes, the rice and beans were super dry, no flavor. I kind of felt the same about the meat. The meat in that burrito, although they were very, very generous with the amount of meat they gave you, it did not taste good. There was no flavor to it, so I was pretty sad. So here we are now at day 2 of our all-inclusive experience. We ended up going to Seabreeze Cafe at the Mandalay Bay for our breakfast. This place actually by far had the all-inclusive menu down to a science, right? They showed every item that was available for you to get, including cocktails. So it really left nothing to be guessed or needed to ask questions on. You could just get whatever's on the menu. All right, guys, we got the huevos rancheros. Got a blue lagoon and an orange juice. Over here we got the brie. Came with bacon and sausage. Also a blue lagoon and a coffee. All right, time to enjoy. For lunch, we decided to go to Tom's Watch Bar at the New York. They had a decent menu and selections you could have for lunch, as well as a house cocktail. They would offer the house margarita. That's the only cocktail you can get here, outside of wine and beer, but it was really good. All right, guys, we just ordered the food at Tom's. The amount of food is just massive. Wife got a bacon avocado cheeseburger, comes with French fries. I got the crispy chicken club, California club, also comes with French fries. And for the drinks, we both got house margarita, and then alcoholic drink was a Pepsi No Ice, and then water. So far, fries taste good. Haven't dug into the burger yet. We're gonna go to look at all the toppings in the burger: avocado, bacon, chicken, brioche bun. Looks really good. Massive burger. For dinner, we decided to go to the noodle shop at the Mandalay Bay. The menu, as you can see, is not very extensive, but the food was pretty good. All right, guys, we're at the noodle shop at the Mandalay Bay, doing the all-inclusive. Food came with wine, so both the wife and I had Chardonnay. I got the orange chicken, comes with rice. Also comes with an order of pot stickers. We both ordered Pepsis with no ice, but they came with ice. That's okay. My wife got beef lo mein. I would say skip on that item when you come here. Get the chicken or the broccoli beef. You get a lot more food for it. Yeah. Out of all the meals we've had so far, this is by far the smallest serving size. And I gotta be honest, that's okay. All right, catch y'all later. I'm gonna enjoy this a bit. All right, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go in for some of the first bites here. My wife actually already finished her pot stickers, and she said they were amazing. So let's give it a try. That ponzu sauce is pretty good. Yeah, pot sticker is great too. Oh, that was good. Orange chicken's okay. I mean, kind of what I expected it to be. Not bad. Cheers, love. Let's try the Chardonnay.
Everything okay? The
It's
wine
great.
and everything? Nice?
Enjoying it very much. Thank you.
Enjoy, sir. Nice.
Hey guys, so we're on our last breakfast of the 2-day all-inclusive. Went with the Pepsi, no ice. Wife got the Blue Lagoon again. I think that's their best cocktail here. And I got the peach berry Bellini. Waiting for a straw so I can mix it up. You can see all the stuff has settled at the bottom. Hey guys, so this morning at Seabreeze, I went with the burrito with ranchero sauce. My wife went with the All-American. Both look really good. All the fixings right here. She got a side of sourdough. And it's been confirmed, Blue Lagoon is supposedly the best cocktail they have here. It tastes delicious. Here's another look at the inside of the burrito. It's supposed to have chorizo somewhere in there. I had it yesterday on the Huevos Rancheros and it was delicious. So I'm sure it'll come through as I'm eating this. I can't taste the chorizo. Oh, it's in there. It's in there. It's just not as saucy as the chorizo they put in on the Huevos Rancheros. But yeah, it's in there. Hey guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. So, just some final thoughts on the whole MGM all-inclusive experience. So first and foremost, right, number one question is it worth the money? It is 100% worth the money, right? We spent $330 and got about $800 worth of value. And that is keeping in mind that we did not use all the benefits that come with the all-inclusive, right? Like, for example, we did not use the 2 nights at the Excalibur. We also did not use the 2 tickets for the New York roller coaster, and we were still able to get about $800 worth of value from everything else that we did use, right? So for full transparency, we already had a trip scheduled to Vegas. And so we just decided to buy that MGM all-inclusive for 2 of the days, and we're already there. So we can get the content for this video and, use it to help you make an informed decision if you're thinking about doing the MGM all-inclusive. So let me start off with, saying this first, like this package is not for everyone, right? First off, you have to be a person that's okay with staying at the at the Excalibur or at the Luxor, right? So that's first off. Then second off, you have to be okay with the food that they're going to feed you, right? Although there is a lot of food that's available, it is very repetitive, right? Like it's mostly burgers and chicken sandwiches, and sure, they throw a salad option here and there, but there's just not a lot of different options, and I actually think that's where MGM kind of missed the mark the most, right? MGM has a lot of restaurants in the Las Vegas Strip, right? They have a lot of properties. Each property has tons of restaurants, so I feel like they could have easily partner up with more places, even if the menus were not very extensive. Because to be fair, at none of the restaurants you can go to right now are you okay to order any item in the menu, right? They have a pre-selected, kind of like a prefix menu type of thing. They have a pre-selected amount of items that you can choose from, but it's not the full menu. Now, at some places, like at Noodle Shop, they kind of took that to the extreme, and they only gave you like 3 food options, which is fine. If they had more places, right, that also had only 3 food options. I'm thinking of places like, I don't know, maybe like Best Friend at the Park MGM, or Momofuku, or X-Lut at the Cosmo, or just any other restaurant, right? Like the Wolfgang Puck Bar and Grill, for example, at the MGM, and just have a really limited menu. I think that would just give people, a little variety in the food department. So I think that would really, really help. Now, other than that, another thing that really missed for me was the training that the restaurants are provided, as far as to like what is available to the customer as part of the all-inclusive. Like some places, like the Seabreeze, for example, at the Mandalay Bay, they nailed it, right? They had a menu with all the items you could choose from for food, drinks as well, and cocktails, right? So that was great. I didn't have to wonder, can I get this cocktail? Can I get that? Can I get that beer? No, they just had it all listed out, perfect, super easy. I think they should all do it like that, but they don't, right? Most places, they offer you a white and red option for wine, and just a couple of beers, like usually either a Coors or a Bud Light or something like that. So not a lot of different beer options either. And most places don't have cocktails. Like the ones that I went to that actually had cocktails available, Tom's Watch Bar at the New York, they had a house margarita option, which was actually pretty good. It's the only option for a cocktail, but it was good. Tap MGM, I would say they were the most generous. They would allow you to get any well drink, or you could get, I think, 4 different types of beers from the beer list, which you can see earlier in this video. If you want to hit pause, you can definitely scroll through that. And they also had a wine by the glass section, and that was actually the most generous. Like the entire section was available, right? So that was super cool. But again, inconsistent, because they had it, no one else had it. So I would love for things to be a little more consistent across the board, and for the wait stuff to actually know what the customers are allowed to get. In my case, for example, I had a bit of a bad experience at Diablo's Cantina, where I asked for a red wine, but I also asked for a Pepsi, and I was told, oh no, you can't get a Pepsi. And I was like, oh sure I can, it comes with the all-inclusive. So the lady was like, really? Let me go check. Left, came back, she was like, oh yeah, you're right, you can get a Pepsi. And she brought me a Pepsi, and she goes, but you can't get a refill on it. And I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever, right? Like, I don't care. But I just thought that was a little rude. Also incorrect, right? Like everywhere else you go to, even though I didn't take the offer, everyone offered me a refill when the soda was getting kind of low. They're like, sir, would you like me to refill that for you? So again, a little inconsistent, right? So I think that's a little more in the training department there. So, other than that, everything was great. The shows were awesome. We actually went to watch Blue Man Group, but we've watched Carrot Top before as well, and that's a good show. And it was a part of the all-inclusive options if you wanted to watch that. We've watched the Bee Gees as well. That one's okay. But yeah, they had a nice selection of shows. Could they have more? Absolutely, they can, right? But I think the ones they offer were good enough. Other than that, I think it's a fine offer. I think you're definitely getting your money's worth. So I think if you're okay with the Luxor or the Excalibur, and you're okay with the food options as they stand today, it's a no-brainer for me. Makes Vegas a lot more affordable for those 2 days. Oh yeah, and also just keep in mind, we got the 3:30 price because we booked on Sunday, Monday. I know in the middle of the week and towards the end of the week, like a Friday, Saturday, it gets a little more expensive, right? Like normal room rates and all that. So yeah, that was it. I mean, we had a great time. I hope this video helps you make a decision for what you want to do if you're thinking about the MGM all-inclusive in the future. But overall, thumbs up on my part. I thought it was a good deal. All right, guys, take care. Bye.